floodwaters as they crossed the Kawalese River in Lodwar.
Hii river imekaa kwa muda mrefu bila kutengenezwa na inatakana iwe first priority kwa serikali, kwa sababu hii river imekuwa ikichukulia magari mingi, imepoteza uhai ya watu wengi, na kama mkazi wa Turkana ningependa iwekwe ifanyiwe haraka sana. Kuna gari iko hapa ndani na hata haionekani. Hiyo gari tangu izame jana saa 10 ya usiku iko na watu wawili ndani.
Hata mimi naendesha pikipiki, lakini ninaambia sheria ya gari, wewe ukiona laga hapana ingia. Kwa sababu sasa mimi nashangaa hawa jamaa wameingia hapa ndani. Sijui sasa watoto yao watabaki na kina nani? Kwa sababu wameingia kwa laga ndani. Wameficha tujini na kina watu wangapi wako hapa ndani. Lakini sasa familia yao itasaidiwa na nani?
Transport has been paralyzed on the Mumias-Bungoma road after police ordered its closure due to cracks on the River Nzoia bridge. Deputy County Commissioner Peter Thiongo says motorized transport and pedestrians will not be allowed to use the bridge until it's rectified and when water levels will subside. Motorists from Kakamega and Busia counties seeking to go to and from Bungoma have been urged to use alternative routes. The Kenya National Highways Authority says it has deployed a team of engineers to assess the damage caused on the bridge.
Kama wanaweza kutengenezea hii taracha ama kama njia iko hata watutumia helikopta tupepe kutoka huku tupeleke upande ule.
Sasa tena wamefunga daraja, hatuna penye tutapitia na tumekuja huku wengi, si mimi peke yangu. Sasa tujui tutapitia wapi.
Kwa heshima tunawaomba watumie ile njia ya kutoka Mumias waenda Bomani, waende Matawa, waende Idangarasia, alafu watokezee pande ya Mayoni na waendelee na safari.
Bungoma Governor Wycliffe Wangamati is urging the national government to classify Bungoma as a high-risk county after it confirmed 2 COVID-19 cases. The cases confirmed on Sunday were both truck drivers who were on their way to Kampala. He says the county is prepared to manage the patients and will continue screening all persons entering or going through Bungoma.
Sisi kama kaunti ya Bungoma tuko tayari kumanage hizi cases mbili za coronavirus na tunaenda kuzimanejia katika Webuye Health Center ambayo ni isolation center yetu hapa kaunti. Tunataka kuambia hao wote wenye watakuja wakipatikana na tunaenda kuongea na county commission wakifanya wakiwa na in contact yote na ama truck drivers, hata kama ni hao wanawake wenye wako hapa, itabidi tuwashike tuwaweke kwa quarantine Webuye, tutafute njia ya kufanya testing. Tunataka kuuliza serikali kuu kuwa tunataka wa classify Bungoma kama high risk county kama kaunti zingine kama Mandera, kama Mombasa na hizo zingine.
A radio journalist working with Pamoja FM in Kibra was killed by suspected thugs who robbed him of his belongings. Hassan Mohammed Marjan was stabbed severally on his way from work after he was attacked by 3 armed suspects. He is said to have been working at night on a special Ramadan show. One suspect linked to the killing was lynched by members of the public while his 2 accomplices surrendered and are in police custody.
Kama mwanahabari, he's an essential service provider. Kwa hivyo yeye alikuwa na kibali cha kuwa kule nje. Wale wakora ndio walikuwa hawana kibali cha kuwa nje. Kwa hiyo it's a question of insecurity. It is a question, ni kitu ambayo imezonga Kibra kwa muda mrefu, swala la usalama. Lakini ni swala ambalo tunaweza toa tu wito iwe ni kuangaziwa na hao maafisa wasikuwe tu wanaangalia curfew wakati wa saa 1 hadi saa 2 kisha wanaondoka.
Kufikia sasa hivi ni kwamba polisi bado wanafanya uchunguzi na uchunguzi kikamilifu hajawahi kutoka, lakini Nafikiri kwamba vijana ambao wanakaa mtaani Kibra wameweza kusema kwamba wanaweza kutambua pengine baadhi ya vijana ambao huenda wamesababisha swala hilo.
Transport was disrupted along Thika Road for the better part of today as residents of Mathare 4A held demonstrations to protest alleged killing of one of the residents by police officers who were enforcing a curfew. The 39-year-old man is said to have been beaten to death by police as he went to a toilet outside his house. The angry residents protested as they blocked police from moving the body of the deceased to Muthaiga police station. The police say they will investigate the incident, the latest in which their own officers are allegedly involved.
Walisema huyo jamaa aligongwa na makara wa Muthaiga na wakampiga wakamuumiza vibaya. So yenyewe ukweli mashahidi wako hapa na hiyo kitu ukweli sisi tumeamka tunapata mtu amekufa.
We are very saddened by what has just happened last night. The police continued to beat us as if we are dogs. We have tried to abide by the rules which the ministry gives every day, but they've gone beyond the point.
Let's take you to Laikipia County now, where insecurity in Ngarwa Division has persisted despite deployment of heavy security contingent in the area. Residents say despite presence of the security personnel, cases of attacks have continued to rise. The residents claim that suspected livestock raiders believed to be from the neighboring Baringo County have been invading the area both in broad daylight and at night, and they steal their stock.
Beleni tulikuwa NPR. Ishida.
$67,000 people have already died of COVID-19, but Mr. Trump expressed optimism about the development of a vaccine, suggesting one could be ready by the end of this year, even though experts believe it could take between 12 and 18 months.
We're going to lose anywhere from 75, 80 to 100,000 people. That's a horrible thing. We shouldn't lose one person over this. This should have been stopped in China. It should have been stopped. But if we didn't do it, the minimum we would have lost is 1.2 million, 1.4 million, 1.5 million. That's the minimum. We would have lost probably higher than, it's possible, higher than 2.2. But no, I think you can really have it both ways. I think a lot of people want to go back. They just want to go back. Every day you see demonstrations all over the country, and those are meaningful demonstrations. Oh, it's big stuff. But you also have some people that are very scared. Probably everybody's scared when you get right down to it. It's a terrible thing that happened to our country. It came from China. It should have been stopped. It could have been stopped on the spot. They chose not to do it, or something happened. Either there was incompetence or they didn't do it for some reason. And we're going to have to find out what that reason was. But people are absolutely scared.
After more than 2 months of enforced quarantine, Italy has begun easing some of its lockdown restrictions. It was the first country to impose a nationwide stay-at-home order and was once at the epicenter of the pandemic. Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte says his approach to ending the lockdown will be adjusted depending on the contagion trends. He stressed that the latest easing, though bringing relief to many, must not be seen as a signal that everyone was now free. In sports news, Netherlands coach Ronald Koeman was admitted to hospital with a heart problem yesterday. According to the Dutch paper, the 57-year-old was taken from his home by an ambulance, but after surgical intervention is in stable condition, according to his wife, Bartina. Koeman has been the Dutch coach for just over 2 years and helped the country to qualify for Euro 2020, which has been postponed to next year due to the coronavirus pandemic. The former international defender won the European Cup with both